course, another element in here is the Nebius group, who are uh, US-based, Dutch-based neo-cloud is doing a deal with Microsoft with 19.4 billion. The Amsterdam-based company will provide AI computing power from a New Jersey data center through 2031, and again, using Nvidia chips. Microsoft, already working with CoreWeave as another investor, and the whole deal sort of fits together that Microsoft is using Nebius's cloud platform and NVIDIA chips in here. Uh, does it seem like it's going to be hard to differentiate yourself as a provider of these cloud platform or these cloud AI platforms?
Honestly, I don't know the answer to that because they're all running the same stuff on the back end, right? They're all running NVIDIA. And so why would Microsoft want to use this other platform and CoreWeave? Well, the only reason I can think of is they want, diversity. They want to make sure that a CoreWeave outage or CoreWeave acquisition doesn't cause problems for them. So and you're basically funding this company to do this build out, which of course puts you at the front of the line when you need to, increase capacity or something like that. So I don't think it's a bad move on Microsoft's part. I think that they're investing smartly if they've got some money in a lot of different pots as opposed to kind of tripling down on using one like CoreWeave. I don't think customers are going to care one way or the other because one of the things that we've seen over the years is this idea of multi-cloud, right? We're using things like cloud arbitrage to make it make sense financially, and I don't necessarily know that that's borne out over the years. I think people just like the idea of saying that if we need to, we can cut and run to Azure over AWS. And it's funny that AWS is kind of at the front of my thoughts there because there's another company that was unprofitable seemingly forever. Amazon couldn't make money to save its life until it started selling cloud computing. And then all of a sudden they were making money faster than they could figure out how to spend it. And I think that maybe that's the hope is that these companies, CoreWeave and Nebius, are effectively riding the wave right now of what's hot in the hopes that they can hold on long enough to either make it make money or find that thing that Amazon did that allowed them to start raking in the money as crazy as possible. I guess my next question is, can these companies hold out from being acquired long enough to make that happen?
Or do they need to hold out from being acquired? They need to be attractive to be acquired as an exit. But I think one of the things that we've been hearing a little bit is that this is still very much the early days of generative AI, and that the game will be played out over 5 or 10 years from now, not over 1 or 2 years. And often our horizon is much shorter. One of my delegates at our infrastructure field day last week was talking about as being like when PCs were brand new and everybody was buying up PCs with no particular plan of how they were going to use them. And the predictions were that this PC bubble was going to burst and everybody be back on their mainframes for everything, or mini systems. Plays out, no, there's just, as you say, a little more innovation required before you get to the point we needed server systems to go with our desktops that suited the desktop's use case, and in particular client server computing became the thing that made desktops really valuable to us. I think that same idea of having some innovation, some more artwork is still required. And that's why we're seeing so much change in the AI infrastructure and the AI models and AI applications. This isn't done yet. This isn't even, it might be the end of the beginning, but it's definitely not even the middle, let alone the end here. So even though we talk up a little bit the feeling that this is a bit of a bubble, was if the actual natural growth of value being delivered catches up with the spend, that would stop this being a bubble and make it actually a simple growth.